Here's what we're going to look at today. We're going to add in a brand new sword. So we've got a new katana here. And we're going to look at fragments so that something special happens every time we spawn our item. And then we're also going to look at how we change attacks so that it does different attacks, sets up different VFX, etc. Let's go get a new weapon mesh. So we can go to content drawer, we can go to fab, we're going to type in sword, and then we'll go to CC buy so that they're royalty free, and you can get any sword you want because these are all CCO assets. We're just going to get this top one and we're going to add this to our project. Now if you open this up and drag out the static mesh, you'll probably notice that this is massive. So we're going to go selection mode, modeling, and then go to X form, go to transform, and we're going to make this like 0.1. That's better. We'll click complete. We're also going to edit this pivot and move it down here. Click accept, and then we'll bake the transform just here. And then we can remove this from the world. And now the thing to know about ACF is that it's broken down into two sections. So we've got our blueprints for our items. So here we are in our weapons, and then these are all definitions. So we're going to duplicate ACF sword BP, and this will be ACF sword katana. And then we're going to open that up, and then we can add a new icon in here, but I don't have any icons currently. We can change the name, so this will be ACF katana, and then we can call this a deadly katana for your main hand, and it can have a maximum inventory stack of 1, but it can weigh 50. This will dictate if it's droppable or upgradable, so we can click to upgrade it, and we can say what items we need to upgrade it. So do we need a flower or a document or a consumable? I don't want this to be upgradable, so that's fine. Is it sellable? How much it sells for? And then we can put in its rarity. So we can scroll down, set rarity, make this a super rare katana weapon, and it's a melee weapon and also a left hand weapon. We'll come back to fragments in a second. Handle type is going to be a one-handed weapon, and then we also need a weapon mesh. So if we click on this little folder icon, it'll take us to the default blade dragon sword, and we're going to drag this out, and then we're going to use our modeling tool to change our downloaded sword. So you can see here the blade goes to the right and the handle is all pointed up. So we can just use the transform tool and so then we can just do 90 on the X, 90 on the Z, and 0 there, and we should get it to match up. Blade on the right, standing up, and then we can bake the transform. But if we look inside our definitions, this is actually a skeletal mesh, and we can tell because it's pink. Just here it says skeletal mesh and skeleton, and we need our static mesh to be the same. So right click on it, browse the asset, and then we're going to right click it and convert to skeletal mesh. Select convert, and now we've got a skeletal mesh and static meshes as well. The other thing is we need a way to trace for damage. So we're going to open up the weapon, we're going to right click, add a new socket, press F2 to rename this to the start, and then we can click on the W to change the gizmo so that we can move it up. Right click on root, add another socket, press F2 to rename this, and it will be the end. And then again, we're going to move that to the tippy top of the end, keep the pointy side to the enemy. We'll save this, go back to our definitions document, and add in our static mesh sword, our new one. And then we need to add an item actor class as well. So we've got this base sword just here. We're going to right click this, create child blueprint. This will be ACF katana. I'm going to open this up, and we can see inside here, if we scroll down to the collision component, you can see whether we allow multiple hits per swing, the collision channel that it uses, whether it should ignore owner, so damages or not, the damage traces, so currently it's set to damage everything, the attack sound that it makes, and the particle trail that it uses as well. And the start socket and end socket are what we've just added. And the base damage is set somewhere else. So this is finished just here. But we do need to go back to our definition. So ACF sword katana, and then item actor class. We need to change this to our ACF katana and save it. So we're going to find the ACF player sword actions, and we've got ability sets. And this is where damage is set and our montages are set as well. So this montage, and then we can come up to attributes mod, and here we see attributes melee damage 30, mod type percentage. So we'll go to all content, full sample, blueprints, item actors, world items, and we'll find this base gatherable, and we can just put this out into the world, go to its details, we'll add an item in here of type katana, ACF sword katana, and we can change that to be 1 or 2, and we'll put this at 2. And then when we right click to play from here, we can press E to pick this up, and it adds 2 katanas to us. When I press I, I've got this ACF katana. Click it to equip it, and it's in our slots that we need, and we can use that straight away. Now what will happen if we go to our item blueprint, if we change this attack particle to be something silly like this fire, then you'll see a change. We'll go to attack here, and we'll get this one. And now if we attack with this, we get a whole different particle system for this katana. Now let's take a look at fragments. So fragments let you add extra data to different weapons. So if you wanted a fire katana, but also then to use the same blueprint and the same setup, but for an ice katana, fragments are kept in the engine plugins folder under blueprints, items, and fragments. And to get a new fragment, you can right click, type in blueprint class, type in fragment, and you get different types of fragments. We've got a character fragment and an item fragment. We're looking for item fragments for our items. So you'd select that, make a new fragment, so ACF ice fragment, for instance, open that up, and then we can override the apply fragment function, which takes in the pawn owner. Make sure we add this call to parent. And then, for instance, this one's going to be super easy. We'll just spawn an emitter at the location, get the actor location, plug that into location, and we'll spawn this frost buildup whenever we pick up that weapon. And now I can add in-player katana. I can add this new fragment of an ice fragment. And then whenever I pick up the weapon and attach it, so when it gets equipped, there's our ice fragment spawning, ready to go. And if I wanted, I could use the exact same definition. Rather than making a whole new blueprint, we'll just duplicate this sword katana, add a new fragment of a fire fragment, one that I created earlier. Then we add to our items the katana, this will be katana 1. And we should have 2 katanas inside here. One of them has that effect, and then the other one has this ice effect. And that's how, rather than creating a whole new blueprint to handle this, it's all handled via fragments and easier to customize. Now currently our attacks match our normal weapons. This is our normal weapon, normal attacks. If we swap to our katana, it's the exact same normal attacks when we swap. But what if we wanted different attacks? Well, that's super easy to set up as well. So we'll go to our sword katana attack, and currently if we scroll down, we can see the moveset actions are using the single hand sword. So we're going to come up to here, we're going to select moveset, we're going to add in a sub tag. This will be katana, type in moveset.katana, or your weapon, just moveset dot at the front. Set the source as the ini, and then add the new tag, and it'll appear just here. Then we can select this katana, moveset actions. So moveset actions is now moveset katana. And all we need to do is duplicate the player sword actions so that it's still got all the same actions, and you can add in your new attacks for your new damage. So here we see in our ACF player katana, I've just changed the normal attack to be a jump attack instead, so you can see it's working. I'll go to gas player BP, and then underneath our moveset abilities, I'm just going to add one more, and this will be our katana with our new moveset for katanas. Compile and save that. And then back in the open world, you should see that the first attack that we do, so we've got to remove both weapons so that and then the first attack that we do from this katana is going to be this jump attack rather than our standard sword swing that we've got here that looks like this. And so that will change how our weapons work, and every katana that has that tag can use that weapon set.